Hey there, it's Raven Scry. Today I'd like to travel down the timeline into 2025 and just really be open to anything that Spirit wishes to bring attention to share, to show. Now, it could be symbolic or it could be actual events, things they wish to show, and I'm going to leave it very open so I won't know what I'm getting until I'm actually there in the experience. So this experience will be a slower way of working because I am actually really experiencing the journey and the information. So just to keep that in mind. So my intention is to journey into 2025 and bring back any knowledge, any insights that are needed to be heard today in this video. So I'm going to start this session today by connecting into this beautiful grid that was offered through a meditation that I was sitting in, and just opening up this magical grid into every awareness. So I work in different ways, but I kind of go in stages and in cycles with certain things, and lately I've been connecting through this grid, so that feels to be a way to work. Now, I've actually done a meditation over in Patreon connecting to this grid, so if you feel to understand more or connect a little bit more, please feel free to hop over to Patreon and join us in the community over there. But otherwise, for the purpose of today, I'm just connecting in as the access point, the portal into whatever it is that's going to come through around 2025. Okay, so as I connect now, connecting into this grid energy, and it's through the heart space, and it expands out in every direction through all of time and space. And again, focusing the intention into 2025 here on Earth, and anything that can be offered, any insights today for this video and for the community listening to it. It's interesting because in this grid has appeared somebody over to my right. It's like taken me up into, it's like a cloud formation, but someone's riding a bike, and it's like I'm being made aware of this person riding this bike up in the clouds. And I ask, help me to understand more about this person riding the bike. What's the importance here of them? Talking about steep slopes, steep descents. And they're referring to the month of May. Now, I haven't put out intention around crypto here at all, but this is just what's coming in. We'll just keep going. Talking about steep slopes in 2025 in the month of May. They're also referencing big highs as well. It's like big volatile energy. So I'm going to move up into the energy of this high, of these highs that they're taking me up into. Now they take me up into these higher dimensions. These higher energies are up here, and I'm aware that there is these different beings up here, and they appear to be cat beings. Now I am familiar with this race of beings, calling them the cat people. They probably have more specific names, but for the purpose of this, they are these cat beings, that higher dimensional beings. Now I feel as though it's important to sit with them, and as I move closer to them, it's like my hands vibrating more. It's like I can feel resonance and energy coming out of my hands more. It's interesting because I don't know if you can hear, but I'm feeling distracted because there's some banging on the roof, and I feel as though this is birds that are trying to get into the roof, which is an interesting time that they're trying to do this. They've been coming daily, and they've just come in now, and then I can hear them tapping. Whether it's got alignment with this or not, just to acknowledge it, because I feel as though it's distracting me from connecting to these cat beings. So moving now to these cat beings and asking, is there one of them that wishes to speak for the collective, for the purpose of sharing today? I feel as though, yes, there's one that steps forward. It's like I get quite a clear vision of their face. It's quite blue in nature, like there's blue energy here with this face, and they come up close, and it's almost as if, you know how we're going to work. And, as they move closer to me, it's like they want to work through thoughts, work through telepathy. It's like they come up to my third eye. Okay, so allowing myself to open now to what they want to share. They're showing me all of these really large, it's like crystals, it's like these large crystals, but all of the points on these crystals, and they seem to be red, really big crystals that, are bigger than a person and are like very big. They expand out quite far. They're talking about these crystals being very important rays at this time to elevate the energy. And as I just kind of sit and be present here with this red crystal, they almost seem like they're just there, but they're just offering this resonance. So as I connect in to the resonance a little bit more, to allow it to inform me, they're talking about challenging times coming and the importance of the red crystal connecting in with this this red crystal for grounding. I also feel as I connect into it, it's like it's almost opening up a pocket of your story, of the stories that we've lived. It's like an ancient place. It's like our past lineage is the way that it's being shown, and it's like this big sort of, in the way that I perceive it, it's like there's just this big mass, and it's like they're wanting connection into this place, but this place is challenging. It's like there is parts of your experience there that is a lot. It's like it's beyond this life. It's into other lives. And as I connect to the energy, it feels somewhat hard to connect to it. It feels like a challenge, but it's crucial that it's connected to through these red crystals. And they're talking about it taking you somewhat higher, allowing your energy to lift through the experience. So I ask, how can this working with these crystals, how can we work with these crystals? In what way, Spirit? They're talking about releasing old. It's like someone's, releasing old views or releasing old ways, but someone's talking. It's like the words are coming out of their mouth, but it's almost like a release. It's like the releasing is taking place, and as that's taking place, there's this lifting of all of this old ideas. It's like there's a mind that is somehow lifting up above. It's like loosening up ways of thinking, ways of thought that have been previously used or known, and in some way they felt very ingrained. It's like there's a change and a loosening here through this red crystal, but it's very much about being in the experience and allowing the release on various levels, because they show this release in many ways, in many forms, and in many experiences, depending on your own unique experience that you've traveled in. But it's just like this working with the red and allowing a loosening and a lifting and expression. Certainly working with expression is important here. To lift the energy is what they're saying. Now I just ask, how is this relevant to our intention of moving into 2025? Help me to understand more about this, about our original intention here. They're talking about the fires of awakening, which is a lifting energy. It's like the fires of awakening coming into the sphere, coming into the space. And I ask, well, is this in 2025, in the energies? Yeah, they're talking about higher up energies, much higher up energies coming onto Earth. And in the way that they show it, it's like they give me an example of these really heightened, fiery type energies that are coming in, and it's like they've got the ability to crack this red crystal because they're so of different frequencies, and it's like if we are more present with this, with the red crystal, essentially, with the red crystal of everything that's been spoken around and shown around what this red crystal is and represents. If we are there and present, it's like there is more of a bridging, there is more of a gentle connection and a gentle bridging when this heightened energy comes in. It's like this heightened fiery energy. And I ask, okay, so if we're more connected, we're releasing, we're allowing our expression, how will this help the integration of this new fiery energy, big heightened fiery energy? Just talking about it easing the load, it will become somewhat easier. And they show me someone like moving in slow motion. It's like a gentle movement. It's almost heavier though. It's interesting because it's like it's light and slow in movement, but in some way it's almost heavier. And I feel the heart presence very beautifully in this scene. It's very hard to describe with words. It's sort of this feeling, but it's almost a solid energy that is offered here. So it's like this energy is coming to somewhat support the earth and support this red crystal energy. But if we aren't with the red crystal, it's like if we're sitting away from the red crystal, if we are not fully connected to ourselves and our own stories, it could really be an overwhelming thing when this other energy comes in. And I ask, well, as you say, Spirit, it could be overwhelming here, and if someone is not connecting in with their story, they're releasing their cycles, essentially. It's cycles of release and movement. How will this be hard? Please help me to understand how this could be hard for someone. Talking about energy levels dropping, talking about low energy, it's like someone's just asleep and someone's can't wake up. It's like being pulled down into very deep places, because it's like it's amplifying this fire energy is amplifying what is there in some way. So the importance of being with yourself and allowing your expression is so important, is what they're showing me. And I ask, well, if that's done, if that's like, in what ways can somebody connect to this? Is there anything else that wants to be offered around other than just the expression and the lifting of thoughts, like connecting into this red crystal? It's so important. And it's like imagining you are connected into the red crystal, imagining you are resonant with this red crystal. And it's like putting your hands on the red crystal, and it's informing you. And the way they show it is like I go up to the red crystal and put my hands on the red crystal, and then suddenly it's like things come to mind, thoughts come in. They might be past thoughts, whatever they might be, they just come in, flood in, and it's like then take those things, take those thoughts, take those, it's like reminders, and see what you can do with them in regards to seeing yourself and releasing old ways and old ingrained ways. But it's like putting the hands on this crystal, and then when you've kind of received enough, allowing yourself to move away. And it's somewhat like a bit of a dance, or over time. It's like spending time with the red crystal and then moving away to integrate. Because some of you may not be able to sit with this red crystal very long or bring it into your mind's eye very easily. But over time, the idea is to be able to fully sit with this red crystal and just breathe with it, to allow the movement to occur and the balance and alignment to occur as this new energy comes into the space to create this big shift. So really spending time with the red crystal. And you can do that through your mind. You can get a red crystal, you can visualize something, you can just connect your mind to the thought of the red crystals in the earth that these cat people are showing today. And by just connecting in that way, you'll access what you need to. And I'm just asking now, asking this cat person that is very close here, is there anything more that I need to share around this? Talking about effort being worth the wait. And they're talking about inclinations of moving higher. Help me to understand inclinations of moving higher. We see the shift throughout your community on every level. It must be on every level, is what they're saying. We can't have parts being left behind. There is a shift, there is an acceleration moving into the next level, into the next heightened level of raise. We're here to support this, we're here with you. We can work with you through this red crystal. You just need to call us into your mind. It can be through the cat people, if you are familiar with them, or connecting in with this red crystal in your mind. Is there anything else here to be shared? Asking this cat person, is there anything more to be shared? They're just putting my energy back into my heart space, which feels like we've said what we need to say. Now I ask Spirit, is there anything more here in this session before we return home that needs to be seen? They're just handing individual keys out to everybody. It's like everybody is being handed a key. It's like all of these keys out, boom, 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 all through the community. And these keys, it's like I ask, well, what are these keys for? And they're unlocking the center points of us. They're unlocking the heart space. They're like putting it into the heart space and turning it. And saying there's a whole world in here to discover. Allow it to be. Allow it to be so. It's like this is... Allow yourself to connect into your heart and see what is there. You may be very surprised, is what they're showing me. But it's all just there, is the sense. All in our precious hearts. Okay, I'm feeling like it's time to return now. So I want to thank Spirit for this journey, connecting back through the grid now, back into my heart space, into the flesh, into my body, and now opening up my eyes, and we're back. Okay, so there was quite a bit in there on many levels. Although it wasn't a very long session, it feels like there was many levels of understanding to integrate, and in some ways it feels like a familiar story to me. This element of really getting to know ourselves and really loosening, the ways we've been over lifetimes, things that don't serve, to surrender them into the new, and to release and to express. This feels like a familiar theme to me, but also the importance of allowing this process, because there is this heightened lift and this heightened opportunity of change approaching, and it really did feel like this sense of we are moving up, we are rising, but we can't be leaving things in unresolved, and allowing this rising. It's like all elements are rising, and it was interesting too because I almost felt like the bike rider at the beginning, it was going almost into crypto straight away, going down, going up, volatile movements. They always seem to be connecting everything back into crypto because it's some sort of teacher here. And sometimes, I find it hard to actually allow that to be in my own, thoughts. I think, oh, well, crypto, because it can be so intense and volatile and it doesn't seem very spiritual at times, but they often connect it back in to the process of movement. And it's like when there is a lift, when there is a rise, it's like importance of our own wholeness of being rising with. It's like they're wanting every part to rise. And so they keep bringing back connection into things like this on more of a holistic view. It's not just crypto, going to the moon. It's like it's reflecting a lot of other things as well. And being successful within crypto feels like it can be truly experienced if there is the whole with you, all of the elements. And, not to say, not to put a bit of a fear thing on it of like, oh, well, if I don't sort myself out, I won't be able to be rich. That's not what I'm saying. But keeping in mind the importance of everything shifting together, keeping that in mind in your heart, and keeping yourself balanced as to when this abundance comes, really allow your whole life, your whole being, your whole self, all connectivity into that light and into that abundance. So that felt really important within the session. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Patreon and just connect in a little bit more, do a little bit of an extended on this session. And so if you feel to, come on over and join our beautiful community over there. And if not, I will connect to you guys again very soon in another session. I hope that you enjoyed it and take care. Raven Scry signing off.